Imagine this, you're a new employee at a company and you were tasked to speak with Olivia Smith from the public relations department. But the thing is, you have no idea who Olivia is, what her email address is, who she works with. And instead of like frantically asking other employees around, like, who's Olivia? How do I get in contact with her? Imagine if you had an AI agent that just gave you that information instantly, and not just her employee contact details, but other bits of meaningful information that you can use to develop rapport with her when you introduce yourself with Olivia. In this video, I'm going to be showing you how to build exactly that, an AI employee directory agent built with n8n, Pinecone, and ChatGPT. My name's Hari, I'm a full stack software engineer diving into the amazing possibilities of AI. And in this video, I'm going to be showing you a demonstration and a live build of how I created this agent. Let's go. Right. So I made myself smaller so you can see the agent, and let's just start chatting with it. So, hey, I need to speak with Olivia from the public relations department. What is her email? What is a preferred way of communicating? So it's going to figure out that it needs to query our vector database, and it's going to pull that information. And she likes to communicate via Slack. Cool. But I also want an email address. So what's her email? So it's going to do that query. Her email is Olivia Smith. Okay, that's cool. I want to know a bit more about Olivia. Does she have any cool hobbies? Cycling and traveling in her free time. That is great, because I just bought myself a brand new bicycle and I want to use that to, see what's up, see if Olivia actually likes cycling, how she cycles and all this stuff. So that's cool. This is really useful. When I was working at Mizuho Bank, the teams are huge. I was working as an engineer on a project, and yeah, it was just super difficult to, find people who weren't in our team that I needed to speak to. So having a tool like this would have been super helpful. Okay, so let's build this thing. The first thing that we're going to need is an initial trigger. So I'm going to use n8n's chat trigger. So whenever we chat with the agent, it's going to spin off this automation. So let me test this. So whenever you chat, it's going to basically trigger. So if I type in hi, you can see that the message has been received by this node, and the output is the message with the attribute chat input. And we need to pass that into our AI agent. So I'm going to select AI agent, and we're going to be choosing a tools agent because we need to connect our Pinecone vector database to this that has all the employee directory information. And the tools agent, and that's going to be a tool. You can see that the input is already the chat input attribute, and we need that to get the message, so that's all good. And then we're going to select system message to give this agent a prompt. So I created a prompt for this agent, and so this prompt is telling the agent that it's a highly capable assistant for my company, and its tasks are to determine or understand the intent of the message coming into it. And if that message has any intent of asking about employee information, employee details, any departments, information about departments, performance related information about the projects, then it's going to classify that, and then it's going to send it off to our Pinecone vector database tool to get that information. If not, then it's just going to use ChatGPT to send a response. So that's what this does. I'm going to add a chat model. So this is going to be OpenAI's ChatGPT. So we're going to need to connect to ChatGPT, and I've already connected, but if you want to connect, you create a new credential, you go to the assistant playground. When you log in, you can go to dashboard, API keys, create a new key, and then you name it, create key, or give you a code. You get that code and you paste it back in here, and then you save it, and then it'll connect. So then you're connected with ChatGPT. So I'm going to select a model. Let's just go with GP4 Mini. It's not too intensive. So that's all good. And we want to give this agent some memory. So I'm going to give it this window buffer memory. So this basically allows the agent to remember the last 5 messages with the chat, in the chat with the user. So this is important. So you don't have to be so specific with your messages when you're talking with this agent, and it has some context. So So that's that. And then we're going to need to add our tools. So we're basically going to need to grab data from our Pinecone vector database. So there's a node in n8n that allows you to do this. So this is the vector store, and answer question with the vector store. So we selected this. We can give this any arbitrary name. So let's say employee data. And then we're going to need to describe the data. So we need to give a description of our data that we have stored in our database. So I have that description here of our data, and I'll just give you some insights into how I've structured it. I'm basically telling it the structure of our data in the database. It has name, role, email, impact, any skills of the employee, their leadership, what expertise do they have. So, and it gives some background information about, employee lookup, like find the roles, emails, or expertise. So this is just, it helps it figure out what it needs to do as well. So then I'm going to connect this to another chat model called ChatGPT. And I'm going to use the same account, let's say Turbo. So this is basically just going to get the decoded information from the vector database and send it back to the AI agent to send back to the user. So that's why we need this chat model here. And then we're going to need to have a vector database. So I'm going to be selecting, not this, I'm going to be selecting Pinecone. So let's go Pinecone, and then let's say I've already connected to Pinecone. But if you want to connect, you can do it the same way as ChatGPT. You go to Pinecone. When we log in, you have this thing called API keys. You do the same thing. You create a new key, you name it, and then it's going to give you a code. And then you go back to n8n and paste it, and then it will save. So I'm going to connect to my Pinecone. And then I'm going to choose the index that my data is stored in. So in my last video, I showed you that I stored it in the n8n index, so all my data is there. So I'm going to choose that. And then I want to retrieve the documents. And then I need to select an embedding model to decode our vectors in our database and make it, human readable again. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to select the embedding model I used to embed the data, and that was the large model. So now in our Pinecone vector store, it has, let me move myself. It has the embedding model set up, and that's it. It's really that simple. I think most of the work was just also building the seeding process to get the data from Google Sheets into Pinecone. But now I can theoretically chat with this agent and say, hey, who is the CEO of the company? There's inquiring our database. The CEO is Nathan Taylor. If we go to our Google Sheets, Nathan Taylor is the CEO. That's pretty cool. And give me someone in the software engineering department. So it's querying that. And it's George Anderson, who works as a software engineer. George Anderson. Software engineer, cool. What language does he speak? And notice I used he. If I didn't have memory, I would have to say George Anderson. He speaks English and Spanish, so let's go to George. English and Spanish. Sweet. So that's literally it. You can whip this thing up really quickly, and to get a good model, obviously the quality, you have to have quality data, and you have to embed it properly using optimum embedding methods when you're storing it in your database. But when you do, you can build really powerful, quick agents like this in no time. So I'm super impressed by the technologies and that are out there nowadays with n8n and other no-code tools. I didn't write any code in this automation, and to me that's incredible. And there you have it, your own employee AI directory agent that you can use to instantly get any information about anyone else in the company. And I think it helps with making people feel at ease in the company. It gives you a good idea of, the company culture, what people that are into, and you have no idea, you haven't even met them, but you have a bit of background information about them. So I think that's super helpful. If you found this video helpful, then hit the like button. If you want to subscribe. I'm going to be releasing videos like this every week. And if you want to know more about this automation, drop a comment and I'm going to reply to it and help you out if you have any questions. So I hope you have a good day and peace.